Hi everybody, my name is Aaron. I'm with Fleetistics, and if you were looking at getting an asset tracker to track your trailers, your mowers, your generators, things of that nature, then we're going to talk today about some things that you need to know and understand before you select an asset tracker to make sure that it gives you the best performance for your specific application and you understand the pros and the cons of the different types of asset trackers that are available to you from a power management perspective. So let's get started. There are basically 4 different power configurations that you need to be aware of when you're looking at asset trackers. Obviously, there is a battery configuration, and there's several different types of battery configurations. The first type of battery configuration is the type that you simply throw away when the device is or has exhausted the power supply. That battery is formed inside the device and it is not meant to be removed or replaced. If you open the container, you would have to pry it open and obviously would void the warranty. You would never be able to get it resealed effectively. Those units are usually less expensive because they know that they can only be used one time. So how do you know how long a battery is going to last? That's always the question, right? So think about it this way. A battery can only transmit a fixed number of messages for the power that it has. And that's not even fixed, because if you take a battery powered device and you put it underneath a metal overhang, building or trees and things like that, and it has to stay quote unquote awake longer to transmit the information necessary, it takes longer to get a GPS location because of the interference, that battery stays awake longer. And as a result of that, it reduces the overall battery life. So it is very important to understand that when you hear a asset tracker has a battery life of 5 years, that is under ideal conditions at 1 update per day in most situations. So if you do anything to change that, you're reducing the amount of time that that battery is going to last. So oftentimes a battery will last 1 year, maybe 2. If I was buying a sealed device, I would not bank on that battery lasting more than 2 years. If you plan for that, it's perfectly okay. You know it's going to cost you this amount of money and you're going to throw it away and you're going to buy a new one every 2 years. Perfectly okay if it works for you. The second type of battery option is the kind that you can either recharge or replace. Now, rechargeable batteries, we all know, don't last as long as we would like them to. They're usually used for like covert tracking, where they're going to be out for maybe a couple days or a week, and then you're going to be able to retrieve them, recharge them, and then redeploy. That's not a typical business application. That's law enforcement. So in a business environment, what you want to be able to do is replace the batteries with off-the-shelf batteries. You can get asset trackers that have a unique battery that you have to buy from the manufacturer. It's a bigger battery in most cases, but it's also a lot more expensive. And what happens is when you go to the field and you don't have that battery, you can't do anything. So you have to actually come back to the office, order a battery, get what you need, go back out to the field. So you need to plan in advance to make sure that you have the right batteries, you have plenty of them before you get on the road. If you have an asset tracker that uses lithium-ion AA batteries, then you can get them from any hardware store or grocery store, which makes that a lot more convenient, and those batteries are less expensive, but they obviously don't last as long, so you're changing batteries more frequently. I will tell you from personal experience, I am simply not a fan of changing batteries. Even throwing away devices is problematic, because what happens is if you have 500 trailers and you deploy all of those, let's say in a 1-month period, what's going to happen is those batteries are all going to die about the same time. So you have to go back out before the batteries die, so you know where the asset is last located, and then you have to start replacing batteries, which means now you have a cost of labor and travel, hotel per diem, all of those things that go into chasing batteries is what I call it, right? Nobody wants to chase batteries. It is far more expensive to chase batteries than it is to buy a self-powered unit or a wired solar type unit up front. Okay, so think about that. You have a short-term savings because you buy a battery device, or you can have a long-term savings because you buy a rechargeable device that uses either solar power or the asset's power supply, or some combination thereof, right? So next, let's talk about solar devices. And with the solar device, it sounds perfect, right? Oh, it's solar, I can put it out there, it's going to last forever. Well, there's different quality of devices to begin with. The solar panels don't last as long on every type of asset tracker. So some devices might have a field service life of 5 years, others might have a field service life of 10 years. So you need to understand the quality of the solar panel that is in there and the quality of the batteries as well. And then what happens is in the southern states, obviously, 9, 10, 12 months out of the year, we get great sunshine. We have rain that washes the solar panels off. They recharge great. But up north, that's a different story. You get ice, you get snow, you get road grime, and those types of things, which deteriorate the solar panel's ability to recharge the battery. So what if you want to go that direction anyway, because it sounds really good? Well, that's the last option, which is a combination solar device that is also a powered device. So when that asset is hooked up to the tractor, the trailer wiring harness comes through to the trailer, and it regenerates the power on the tracking device when it's under tow. That's a really good case scenario, especially if you're frequently accessing these trailers or these assets and you hook them up on a regular basis. And it could be like a landscape trailer that you hook up every day. That's great. It could be a tractor trailer that is used to run back and forth between depots, and it's hooked up every day, every week, every month, and there's enough travel time for the unit to recharge. So those are your options. There's 4 basic options, and the 5th one's kind of that combination of power supplies. But those are your options for understanding how power is managed on asset trackers and really trying to figure out which one is going to work best for you. The right thing to do is call somebody like Fleetistics, and we'll talk to you about your application, and we'll make some recommendations. And we'll point you in the right direction. What you want to do is buy the right device, not only for today, but you want to think about, what am I going to have to do to maintain this system 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and what's that going to cost me in the long run? If we can help you at Fleetistics, just please give us a call. Thank you.